Welcome back to another Canon Flash recap. I'm your host Terry. Today I'm doing episode 18, Lose Yourself. So I'm back on the Flash horse. I've been watching the episodes. I know I missed a couple reviews, but we're back. Flash is going to be the last show now that Black Lightning is over, so going to finish it out. I think overall this season is just kind of, the Flash is stuck in the rut, man. Last season they went uber serious. Fans didn't like it. It just kind of dragged on. This season, a lot of people asking for season one type of fun and jokes, and we got that plus some. Like, it's uber funny, but it's not. It's kind of dragging on still, so it's kind of stuck in the rut for me. And I think they're missing that balance that season one had between the two. But ultimately, I don't know. Maybe CW and other networks will realize that these seasons are too long. They just are. With the breaks and then 20-some episodes, too many filler episodes. Like, comparing it to Black Lightning, where pretty much every episode hit pretty nicely because it was a shortened season. And they might need to look into the Netflix kind of model, because some of these episodes are just not good. But overall, the Flash needs to find a balance and understand what they're doing, because I think the group dynamic is part of it, because there's a reason certain people are serious, some people are more comical, and they mix together well. But it's like with season 3 and season 4, they just tried to make it a sweeping thing. Like season 3, everybody's serious and depressed. Nobody's having a good time. Season 4, everybody's a jokester. And I don't think you can do it that way. But anyway, this episode. So, I was kind of going through the motions for most of this episode, where you had the last bus meta who can go in and out of pocket dimensions. So I thought that was, I thought there was going to be some time travels type stuff, because I'm like, how did the Thinker figure out how to use that technology without his power? And I thought they were going to try to say that, he already knew that power would exist and somehow I thought it was going to be something confusing, but it wasn't. It was just like, oh, he happens to have pocket dimension travel as well. So that was kind of a letdown, but whatever. I guess the whole episode centered around Ralph versus Barry about killing DeVoe. And the thing that with this episode that got me is that they keep switching Ralph. They have no idea what they're doing, Ralph. What they first did with Ralph, this kind of disgraced cop, private eye, he was kind of a mix of Jessica Jones and Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother. And I loved it. Every time they let Ralph be Ralph, I loved it. I heard people complaining, he's such a douche and blah, blah, whatever. Let him be a douche. Like, they changed him up so much. Like, he's a douche, and then, all of a sudden he understands how to be a hero. Then he goes back to being a douche sometimes. And it's just like all over the place. I like the womanizing strip club, whiskey drinking, but also hero, kind of not an anti-hero, but kind of a Jessica Jones type hero. And I like that. And they just keep flipping him back and forth. And then it was like, okay, he's really, really good, and he's not a bad guy anymore. But then they switch him to a scared guy who's scared of DeVoe. Now they switch him to, okay, I want to kill this guy. Like, all of a sudden he doesn't know how to be a hero. They keep flipping. I don't like it, and I can't keep up with it. It's really annoying. So that was a big problem for me. This whole mini civil war of Barry and Iris, like, no, that's not how we do things, versus him talking about killing people. Now, heroes and killing villains has always been a debate. Not really one for the Flash, because he never was even about killing people. But, it was worth having, because it's like, dude, we gotta kill DeVoe. DeVoe's doing too much. So that was kind of the whole episode, with the B story of Harry and his Thinker cap. But we all were wondering if he's Reverse Flash. I'm gonna say it right now, I don't think he is. It's just too many instances where if he was the Reverse Flash, he would have had to reveal himself. I.e. when the bomb was about to go off and blow up Central City and stuff like that. And the way he interacted with Jesse, I just don't think he's Reverse Flash. I think they were playing more towards this whole addiction thing that Joe kind of brought up. So that was okay. It was whatever. We saw that coming from a mile away when we knew he was going to be obsessed with beating the Thinker, and the Thinker actually wanted him to do that so he could get dark matter. So we already saw that coming. But yeah, the main plot with whether to kill DeVoe or not, it was just kind of whatever. And then the meta they got and the whole hipster type thing, it was really whatever. Some of the jokes didn't land. Like, there's a couple jokes that, I laugh at because there's so many of them, but for the most part, it's like, okay, kind of boring when they trying to joke every other second. And then, the whole ending, so let's get to the ending, because stuff went down. And I was half paying attention, to be honest, by the time it happened. But even while I was watching, like, some of the stuff got real confusing. Like, I guess DeVoe knew they were coming to his lab, and then he came at the same time to their lab, and okay, whatever. But then after that, I don't know what, it was too much going on. I didn't really understand what was happening. But the whole thing with Ralph deciding not to kill the Tinkerer, the Thinker, where Ralph decided not to kill him and then trying to cuff him, but didn't know to turn the right switch on to dampen his powers. That was absolutely dumb. I don't care what anyone says. That was stupid. That was a weak plot. That led to, Ralph getting taken over. That led to, DeVoe escape and all the good stuff. But it was weak to me. And I don't even remember, maybe I wasn't paying attention though. I don't even remember when the Thinker switched to the pocket dimension guy. Like, did they show that? I once wasn't paying attention. So stuff was just happening. But then like a minute, 5-10 minutes later, he switched another body to Ralph. And so it was a lot going on. Then the weird scene where Iris stabbed herself to knock out the girl, somehow knew how to use the chair to send her back. Like, okay, that was weird. I mean, Iris is not the leader. I have to say that every episode. Please give her a job at the paper or as a cop. I would love to see her become a cop. Like, she is not the leader of Team Flash. So anyway, it was just, it was a lot going on. It was a lot going on. I think the weight of the ending of the story hit me, but the whole execution was just like random. So, but in the end, when the dust settles, you got, Killer Frost Caitlin no longer has the Killer Frost powers, which is fine, but I'm sure they'll get it back. But it's cool to see her back to normal. Then you got Ralph, and they love the slow motion, sad music. Watch DeVoe kill another one of your, or take over another one of your friends. Like, they did it like 3 times. They did it with the lucky girl when Flash couldn't save her. They did it when Ralph had to watch, the country girl, the country singer. And now they did it with Barry had to watch Ralph. So they love doing that. And it still hit me. It was like, dang, I still think Ralph's going to end up coming back, but it'd be bold if, the writers was like, okay, no, he's done. Like, this is how he goes out. They got to take out their friend. It sets up an interesting dynamic for the rest of the season because we don't think he's going to, the Thinker's going to switch bodies anymore, especially because he can look like his old self. So, it sets up an interesting dynamic. Team Flash having to take out their old friend. And I don't know. If Ralph doesn't come back, that'd be cool, but I don't think they're going to do it. I think Ralph comes back. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything. Like I said, I don't think Wells is actually Earbard, and I think it's just more about the addiction. Killer Frost, not big of a consequence. She didn't really do much anyway. And then Ralph, that's the big story. He's kind of gone. So we still got to see how the future girl plays into this whole thing that keeps popping up at Jitters and what she has to do with it. There's no more bus metas. I'm trying to remember what next week's preview even looked like. I don't remember, to be honest with you. But yeah, hopefully the Flash finished strong because it's been a rough season. So as far as a grade for this episode, I'm gonna give Lose Yourself. I'm gonna give it a C plus because of what happened at the end. I thought the ending really raised the stakes, so it should be interesting. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Go to the comment section, let me know what you thought. Thumbs up, subscribe, share it around, and remember, if you heard it here, it's official canon.